Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're sitting here with Shaq's 1997 Nissan Hardbody, and what we got going on today is a couple fun little projects. So we are getting ready for import face-off. So we're gonna see what we can get done to make this truck as show-worthy as possible before then. Sean has removed the stripes. This fender still has a stripe because we are about to replace this fender right now. So if you want to see how to do that, go watch my previous video. We just did it on that side. This side, it's the same process minus the antenna. So I'm just gonna rip that out on my own time real quick, but wanted to give you that before and after. So right here, here's a little before. Well, yeah, here we go. I think we can just lift this right up and off. Good to go. Now we'll take out our new fender and zip it on. Yeah, not too bad. The bottom's pretty rusty. Goes over quite a bit though, so that wouldn't have gotten cut out. So I guess it's a good thing. Good thing that we're here. And here we are, part 2. And check it out. There it is. New fender. Looks clean. No stripes anymore on the truck. The graphics are entirely gone now. So I think the next thing we're going to try to work on is we're going to try to install the mirror. That's nothing crazy for you guys. I just got to get in there and poke at the headliner a little bit until a screw is going to go in. It's going to be somewhere like right over here, right in the center. So I just got to kind of like feel around and set my screws. This one's going to come down. It's not even centered. This is the center of the truck. So this is driving everybody a little crazy. See, check this out. The factory hard bodies, doesn't matter what year, should all have this. And you send your screws, bam, nice new rear view. Now we're gonna get this one off, clean that up, but that is just such a better look. And if we go outside the truck, I'll show you. It's going to line up with the sticker way more. Look at that, you don't even see the rear view mirror anymore. Like, that looks so much cleaner. So what we're gonna do in a little bit is take some black spray paint that little center clip, see if we can find a new visor. Not guaranteed there, but this thing is really coming together, man. It's all those little things that really make the biggest difference when building a project. So I'm actually gonna roll out that fender a little bit. And, well, there we are. This is a good start to the video. I'll see you guys in whatever we got going on next. These are fresh. Shaq just put these on. They are pretty affordable too. They're like sub $30 and make your truck look a lot better. And today we are going to be cleaning this up a little bit. So we're going down a different route than we originally intended. I think the end goal is Shaq wants to do a different wide body, but for right now and for what's kind of quick and easy and makes sense to do, he's gonna get just kind of like the, I'd say like pretty generic, like you see the bolts going through, like eBay fender flares for the hard body. And we are going to slap those on, cut out all of the rust to stop the rust from growing. But to run the fender flares without the truck looking silly, he won't be able to run these wheels. He'll need something that fills the gap. So I don't know. These are only 7s and they're pretty thick. So I don't know how big the fender flares are yet. I haven't even seen them in person. But I'm curious how this is going to work out. Ramey also just finished really cleaning up this interior. It looks a lot more fresh. I mean, compared to what it did, it's a little hard to bring this old interior back to life, but it's looking pretty good. I mean, we have quite a few things that still need to happen, and we also will be installing a cab wing on his truck today as well, so stay tuned for that. It's gonna look really sick. Here we are now. We're inspecting the fender flare, so we got to drill our own holes through the plastic and the metal, which is completely fine. So we just got to kind of look at how these are going to fit on the front. Okay. We just got to lift them higher to clear the wheel gap, which isn't all that great, but I was hoping for like a nice low fitment, you know. So we're gonna try to get it as low as we can on every side, and we'll take our measurements and figure out how we're going to do it. But yeah, this is definitely interesting. Even if these go on for now and we drill the holes and we set them up, the whole premise is that later on Shaq is gonna get the aftermarket. They're just over fenders that kind of bolt on, so it's going to cover everything and look a lot more aggressive. These are just a quick, easy, cheap fix. It'll get rid of the majority of the rot, so I think we're going to go through with it today. And honestly, I think it's fun. I know there's some kids online that are always looking for a good, quick, cheap build idea. And so, I don't know, the eBay fender flares, we're going to find out if they're worth it or not. And we're going to get them on the truck today. So one thing we wanted to do was paint match them to the truck. So maybe we'll drill out the bolt holes on the plastic and then we'll scuff them and paint them, and we'll come back and take a look. But like I said, if we cut out our wheel wells and bolt them on, it's okay because it's all going to get covered up with a much more aggressive wide body later. So right here we have the cab wing. So I am not a body guy by any means, so take this with a grain of salt. Everything we're doing today is very DIY, actually. All of it. I am not a body guy. But we're going to do our best because we're doing it in the shop on our own time. Jack's a mechanic too. We're just not body guys. Just keep that in mind. So we're going to clean this up. I'm going to take a scuff pad, clean it all up, make sure everything is good because it's starting to show a little bit of surface rusting just because it's bare metal. And then we are going to get it cleaned up. We're going to spray some primer on it. And then we are going to spray some paint on it and then some clear. But we figure we'll paint it and then we'll have to scuff down the bottom side wherever we're applying our adhesive, our bonding material. And then probably do the same on the cab and then lay our material and tape it all off and rest this on there. It's going to be a bit of a project, but right now we're just going to get this all painted up. Well, check that out. Sean has prepped the wing all up. Laid down some plastic. We just got back with just some gray self-etching primer. That's all we're going to use. We'll spray that on there. And then let that dry. And then we'll probably start messing with the fender flares. And get those into paint as well at the same time while Shaq is gone. We'll paint this. Everything will be great. All right, guys. So we're laying down the primer now. We're just going to take it. Nice long strokes. I've already pretty much done everything we need to, so that's it in primer on the bottom side. And we will come right back and lay a second coat. So here we are now. We got to the fender flare. So we're going to take a bolt, figure out what size it is, and find a drill bit that matches. And we're going to drill out all of the holes to start. That way, everything looks good. We don't want to paint it and drill our holes. That just seems kind of backwards. So right here, I got about a drill bit about the same size as the bolt. So I'm going to take this. It was just out of the drawer, so I don't have a good size measurement for you guys. Rough 13/64 bit, if that helps any. It might need to be a little bit bigger, so just keep that in mind. So the next step up would be a 7/32, but we're going to use this for now. We're going to drill our holes just evenly, best we can. Just going to say, okay, where would our bolt look good? Go right to the middle and drill our holes out in all of the flares. And then we'll scuff them, and then we'll prime them, and then we'll paint them. So just like that, we've actually started our hole, and it is too small. So we are going to up the drill bit to that 7/32 and see what happens. All right, there we have it, a nice, comfortable fit. All right, I just take the fender flare. I rest it right down on a nice flat surface. I know it's kind of tricky with the plastic there, but once it's rested down, I'll take my bit. I will figure out where I like the center and press the trigger. But I'm going to need both hands for this. So Sean is scuffing these all up now. It'll just make it so the primer sits on there like it should. It'll help it adhere. We've drilled out all of our holes. Really simple to do. It's not rocket science there. I think this is ready for a second coat of primer. And then we'll flip it over and run another coat. And then we will also get these all primed up. I'll show you guys how we hang these in just a minute. All right, so we got our fender flare right here. We'll take our primer, same thing. Just nice even coat all the way down. Even if I gotta come right back to it and give it a light coat to start. Not the best way to do this, but DIY, baby. All right, last fender flare. So this is just how I'm coating it. Like I said, there's probably a right and a wrong way. I'm not a body guy, as I've said many times. But this is great, you know, do it yourself. That's what makes cars fun. Not everybody is a professional. So we're just going around getting all of our edges. I'm really excited to spray the color, but we got a little bit more work to do before we're there. We have a whole second round of coats that we gotta run. But we're getting there, slowly, slowly, slowly. Get all these edges, make it look real nice. I don't want to go too thick the first time. I mean, thick enough, but we just want a nice, even flow. Don't want drips. All right, just about where I want to be. Probably come up here one more time. Yeah, see right there. Won't be too shy to lay it a little thick, but all right, there we have it. There is all 4 fender flares with the first coat of primer. The back of this is all set, but yeah, that's it's already looking a lot better. Sean's got gloves on, so he's gonna flip this over real quick. That's just the bottom side anyway. There we go. All right. I'm liking it. We're doing a good job so far, I'd say. I'm going to run around, run a whole nother coat of primer on everything. And then the fender flares will be ready for paint. So will this. So will the cab wing. I'm liking this. This is actually going really well. All right. So check this out. Everything's very, very nice. Nice and clean so far. We're going to take a scuff pad or something really light, wet it down, and just very gently just kind of go over everything. And from there, we will be able to run our paint. And that's pretty much it. That's all we got to do. All right, guys, so we've just scuffed everything up, and we are going to be spraying our paint right now. So here's the color. First glance, let's see it. Very beautiful, like just gold color. I'm not going to go too thick to start. Just again, nice thin layer. Get it on there. I can make as many coats as I want. We'll probably only get like 2, maybe 3 max. Just given we have so much to paint. But I could be wrong. We'll see where it goes. We're just going to really take our time. We used a light colored primer as well, I want to mention, just to make it so we don't have to use as many coats. But I'm liking it. I'm excited. This is going to be really, really cool. All right, I'm going to do this on all of the fender flares and then hit the cab wing. So remember, we're only on our first coat so far, but this is the primer compared to the gold. I mean, you can kind of see it on the wing right there. So this is really bright. I'm really excited about how this is coming out now. Sorry about the muffle. We got the mask on. All right, we just finished up spraying all of the paint. Lastly is the clear. We're gonna get some clear on these and we're gonna let it dry. And then we'll be back to mess with it on the truck. Probably come back another morning. I don't think we're gonna mess with anything right away because we want everything to have the chance to fully dry. All right, now we're getting some clear action. Woo! It's gonna make it look so nice. Look at that. So this is where we're at for the night. We're gonna just let this sit overnight to harden and dry. I got the clear all up on there though. It's looking glossy, it looks beautiful. Like I said, for DIY, do it yourself, having fun, not bad. Well, here we are, day 2. Sean's starting to prep the fenders. We're gonna be getting those all painted up pretty soon here. But what we gotta do first is get our wide body in place and then make our marks, drill through the fender, cut the fender, and then we'll get it all primered and painted and all that fun stuff. But we have a lot to do today for sure. And for right now, what Shaq will do is run like a nice spacer just to fill in the wheel gap between the fender flare and there to give us that wide body look. And then later on, Shaq will get some good 10.5 or 10-inch wheels or whatever he needs that'll truly fill in the gap the way it should be done. But right now, we're just doing what we can, one step at a time. This is a big video with a lot going on. Today's overlook, we might do the roll paint as well. It's just in primer right now, so if we can get that painted up, it'd look really good. There's a lot to do. So here we are, we got the fender flares. And look at that, not bad at all, honestly. I'm like actually really impressed with how close that is. Not gonna be like the most perfect thing. Obviously this is all sun faded, but not bad. Truck's all dirty too. But anyway, we're gonna get this down here. Gives us a little bit better look. It does fill in some of these body lines, things like that. We're gonna have to measure out probably where we want this to sit. It's gonna take us a few minutes to get this all figured out. But actually what I'll probably do is start by removing this fender trim. It's gonna make our lives a little easier. Somebody added this in. I don't even know with what, some sort of adhesive or something. So we gotta figure that out and get that pulled off. It's gonna pull all this out, but that doesn't matter. Look at that, there we go. Life made very, very easy. Bam! All right, now with that off, and you'll see this is all gonna get cut out. So we're gonna have a nice clean base. No more trash. Look at that. Take all these plastics out too. They're just trash. They're holding in dirt. But right here, now we can get a little bit better look. Like if we were to go to line, I don't know. Not gonna give us exactly what we want yet, and we're gonna have to lower down the truck and see how it looks first, where our wheels sit, all those sorts of things. But we'll get there. We just gotta map out where we're gonna want this to sit. All right, so we're sitting here. We're trying to figure out where we wanted it. I wanted to go body line to body line, but the problem is the wheel openings are way too wide in the front, so we actually have to run it all the way up to the body line, just like this, like the actual factory body line that goes down the side. So we just butt it right up to there, and then we'll kind of adjust it how we like it, and then we'll match the other side once we're ready. But again, almost body line to body line down here as well. And I think we will probably cut the fuel door. I know that sounds crazy. We should cut the flare, but I think it'll look goofy if we cut the flare, because then there's just going to be a big hole in the side of the truck. So we cut the door, it can open and close. We got plenty more. Again, that seems like the move, because if we take this flare, you'll see up here that we have quite a big opening. So if we wanted to go body line to body line like I wanted to out back, we get this big space, nothing to bolt to. Same thing over here, big space, it doesn't look right. So that's why these do sit so high if you do the eBay style, you know, fender flares. But not bad. Like I said, when the truck's all paint matched too, it's gonna look pretty good. But that's exactly how it's gotta go. So send it right up to the body line, make sure it's straight down the truck, kind of fit it where you like it, take a measuring tape if you gotta, figure out, you know, top to bottom on each side so everything's even, send it. So we've gotten all of our marker lines in place. I need both hands for that, but as you can see down here, nice and straight. We've butted this up to just where the where the wheel well starts. Same thing with the rear. We just have it butt up right where it starts. So everything's looking really good. I'm going to make some pilot holes and see where it sits. Here we are. Two sheets of metal to drill through, but we're getting there. So far, so good. A couple more to drill out. But we got some nice bits. And send it through. We're gonna get all of our holes drilled, see how it fits, and then we're gonna go to the front fenders, get those done, and then we'll be able to start painting. This is kind of the worst of it right here. There's still gonna be some rust. We're hoping that we'd be able to get rid of the rust, not so much just cover it, you know? That kind of sucks. But like I said, I can always get a cleaner bed, or the wide body we're gonna do later on is actually a lot more aggressive, and we'll be able to cut all of this out. So there's many options here. The point wasn't just to cover the rust. We want to cut it out as much as we can. We're trying to give it a little bit of a cleaner base. Yeah, paint matching it definitely is the biggest savior for this thing. We'll have to spray some of the factory paint, just kind of glaze it over, or paint this bottom half panel, but other than that, not that bad. Like I said, we're a little higher than the body line on the back, and right at it in the front, that looks the best, I'd say. So when you're looking at it, it's just got a good look. But just kind of in place, dummy in place for now. We're going to draw a line underneath it and just make a cut right around. But I'm gonna go map out the rest of them same way I did this one. But this is gonna look pretty sick. All paint match looks really killer on this truck. All right, so we just measured this out at an equal length to the back, and we have our line as straight as it can be to where the body line the creases on the fender, and then same thing back here. It's a little bit higher, just like we did the rear. So we're gonna make our marks and drill our holes. All right, so we've gotten the fender flare in place. And look at this, this is actually coming out like really nicely. This whole fender is gonna be painted with the little wide body, the fender flares. Pretty sick. So we're gonna move on over to the next side and do the same thing to the other front fender. So Shaq's gonna start cutting out just that like makeshift line. While he does that, we're gonna cut up this fender, and then I'm gonna go mark out the other fender. All right, another side down, one more to go in the back. Boys, we are so in business. Look at that. That is so sick. This is looking really good, actually. Getting right to that little crease in the body. We run our flare right up to the body line. Beautiful. I'm loving this. We're gonna make our cuts. We'll be able to bolt up the back while Sean sprays the front. This is going just great. I'm really happy with how this is coming out. But again, this is a rough idea of what we're gonna cut out, just rough. It doesn't have to be pretty, no one's gonna see this. It's just we're gonna get rid of the rust, help prevent it from spreading, and then we'll throw some primer or something on it. All right, Jack's killing it right now. Sean just got all the bare metal up in primer, just kind of cut it down a little, primed it. I mean, you know, DIY stuff right here, boys. But everything is cut out, so a little cleaner, not like the best, but again, just cleaner. That's all we were going for. We're gonna have to cut the gas door right there as well. I just put the fender flare up, made a line. We're gonna cut on the line first. We can always take off more, so we'll cut it once, and then we'll just kind of trim back what we need to. But again, all that gets covered up. It was just to cut out as much rust as possible. I think we did a good job. I don't know where the metal went. This is a pretty good look at, you know, what came off. So it's a good start. You know, we have a little bit of a cleaner base up here than we do down there. So making progress. All right, I'm going to get ice cream while they're doing this. I lied, we got pizza instead. Anyway, so we're back, and they are taping off the truck right now. Sean's going to be painting up this fender. We're going to tape off everything in here, tape off the wheel, all that fun stuff. It's going to look pretty good. Boys, look at that bike. That's sick. All right, now back to work. Well, and here we are. Everything is all taped up. Sean and Shaq got it all ready to go. Sean already scuffed down the whole fender, so now she's ready for some primer. All right, we're in primer, boys. We're almost there. Making progress. Wow, again, look at this. All this metal cut out, just pure rot, man. And now we're at the cleaner metal on this side. Oh, that got better. This is the last one Shaq cut out, and it looks a lot better. But yeah, check that out. So I do know that this fender flare on the back can go on right now, but we are going to take our bolt, feed it through, take our nut on the back side, literally just attach it, tighten it on, and that's it. Look at that. It's all tightened up by hand. I'm gonna take a wrench, put it on the back side, put my Allen key right here, tighten it up until it's nice and flush. It'll be good. Up here, we're going to have to be real careful. I don't know what the game plan is for sure. I mean, we're going to tighten it up a bit and just see where it lands. Just go from there, especially on that body line. Well, look at that. We got the first fender flare in place. I'll show you guys me putting on another one when we get a minute. I just tightened this one up by hand real quick off camera. I mean, it's pretty simple. Nut, bolt. That's it. We already drill out the holes. It's really, really easy to do, honestly. It's just kind of getting those measurements and everything. But right there at the body line, again, right above here. And it looks great. And we have this right up to the body line right here. That's it. Like, those are your dimensions. It's really easy to run these. But Sean is just about ready to paint, so we're going to hop out of here. After he's done painting, we're going to make our cut and then apply the body kit. We got Sean painted up with a gun right now. Look at that. Already see that gold. That's sick. All the outside edges. Said like going over at like 75%, full lines. You know, you want to paint it like I did with the spray paint, because then you get like the tiger stripes. But with a paint gun, nice fan, get those long lines. Really awesome. This is really cool. Yo, what's up, guys? We're back out here. It's a new day. They've gotten the fenders painted up on the truck. They tried to just clean up the rust just a little bit back here. It's like I said, it's just a quick touch up. We're gonna assess what we want to do with the bed later on. This side is fine right now. It's kind of a good look at what the truck is looking like with the fender flares. We gotta attach the front ones, but the roll pan is also all painted up now, so the license plate's gotta go back on there to cover the rust in the bed right now, just for IFO. There's a hole here and a hole over there. We just picked up this bed liner that's gonna be going in the truck, so that'll be nice. And once the fender flares are on, like so, we're gonna add about an inch spacer, and it's gonna bring the wheel out a little bit, make this sit a little better. So we're still working on it right now. Obviously, it looks silly and kind of hack with the big holes cut in the fender, but that's how it's supposed to look, because we cut it out for the wider wheel XYZ. So we're gonna put the fender flares on the truck in just a second. But yeah, this is it, all painted up, no more black fender. So that's pretty cool to see. All right. Tailgate's in place, roll pins on the truck. Bed liner, it's pretty dirty, as you can see. It needs a good pressure washing. So I'm gonna drop both tailgates, pull this out. Oh, awesome. Let's get this over to Shaq's truck and drop it in. All right, now we can throw this up in here. Really easy to do. Just slide, drop in, one side open. Tailgate, cool. So like I said, it needs a good cleaning. It's pretty musty looking right now. I know it's kind of all random for you guys, but day by day, like I said, I came back on a new day, and Sean and Shaq have just kind of finished painting up the truck. So, all right, we're gonna drop the antenna into that fender, peel off the excess tape, get this all cleaned up. We'll give this a good scrub. Maybe I'll hit it with a pressure washer. I don't have the clips to hold it in place, so I think unfortunately it's gonna get a couple small self-tappers in it, and that's gonna be all we can do for it for right now. But it'll cover the bed rail again, makes the inside of the bed look really clean once it's clean, and that kind of ties up the outside of the truck. But let's get the fender flares on. I think we're there now. I think I'm good to grab my fender flares, get them installed on the truck, and then we'll see what else we got going on right after that. All right, so here we are. I got my fender flare. I'm gonna take it, throw it on the truck, make sure I got each side right where it goes. It matters because if I drilled out the holes in this different from the way I drill out the holes on another one, then it's not gonna line up. But this seems right, so I'm gonna take my bolts and start setting them in place. So we're just gonna line up all of our bolts. That's simple. Gonna be a little trickier to do not on the lift. I guess having it lifted up made it a little easier to get to certain spots. Now again, none of this is perfect. Like there's already a little chip on this fender flare, but it's okay. This is a very temporary wide body for Shaq. He has a much cooler wide body he wants to do later on, but I know a lot of people use these on the Nissan, so I just figured like, man, this would make a really cool video. It tie the truck up for import face off, just get it looking decent, you know, and then we'll just go from there. All I'm trying to do is just push these bolts in, back it on the nut in the back side. That's it. Literally all we have to do. Now I'm gonna take my, what's this, 10 millimeter, put it on the back side. I don't even really need an Allen key. Like these kind of hold themselves pretty tight, and just tighten them up. That's it. I mean, this is really, really, really easy to do. This whole project, if you're not paint matching anything especially, is as simple as make your marks, drill your holes, make your cut, and you're done. So I might have this a little too tight, so I'm actually going to back it off just a little bit. You could use some sort of lock washer too. I'd probably recommend that. This kit didn't come with any, so again, we're just throwing it on for now. If they come loose, they come loose. We'll figure it out. But they shouldn't, you know. I just don't know if over time, like vibrations, all the driving all over the road and things like that are gonna make them come loose. But pretty much there. So I'll show you guys, man. This is looking really, really cool. I actually really like the look of these, especially paint matched. I think that was huge. I think eventually maybe we'll paint match the S10 front lip. The problem with doing so is it's going to meet the ground a lot. You know, it might chip the paint and may not look great long term. So definitely in debate. But right now this is looking really cool. I'm gonna go over to this side and add on the fender flares. Just off camera, you know how to do it. It's bolt, nut, done. Line up your holes. So I'll see you guys right after. All right, so we have 3 screws to pull off the fuel filler neck. I'm gonna take it off to access the nut that goes back here. There's just no way to reach it without kind of getting this out of place. So if I can slide this away somehow, then we can get our fingers down here to hold a nut to tighten up that bolt. And once that's done, we're done. All right, so I actually took a screwdriver and I just pushed this down. I hit it with a hammer. I kind of folded it out, and now I had enough room to grab that bolt. So now we're gonna put our filler neck back in place, tighten up our screws, and we'll move on to our next project. All right, next up on the list, we're gonna drop the antenna back into place and get this all situated. We can just go right in here, send it in. And I think that completes the fender flares. Now we know it's a little off shaded. There's a couple things going on with this truck that are a little tricky. This looks a lot better than the black fenders for sure, but this is fresher paint, and this paint's seen a lot of things. Had seen a lot more sunshine. Has, you know, the marks, the stripes on the side were taken off, so you see the marks from that. So yet again, nothing is perfect here. We're really just doing what we can, but you get the base premise of how to install these fender flares. Now look how good this looks too. I mean, honestly, just wow. I'm really, really liking the look of this. Now, we have some inch spacers. This truck's only going to look better. I mean, we're just going to keep working on it, keep making things happen. We're all learning too. I mean, we've never sprayed with a gun before, so that kind of made a big difference. But, you know, we're learning as we go. Like I said, you can see a little bit of the paint difference here. In person, it's not so bad, but the camera picks it up very well. But we have some inch spacers to add in. I don't even know if we'll really need them in the front. Obviously, we probably want them in the front as well. I think 4x4 front fenders would have given us an equal length of space, because back here you'll see we got all this space right here. So inch spacers would fill it in. If you went for a staggered look with like 8s in the back and the 7s in the front, I think it fits pretty well. We could dial in the fitment a little bit better up front, but back here it's a little bit wider. So 4x4 fenders I would totally recommend doing if you're doing these flares, especially if you're going wider. But everything's looking great. The roll pin's all painted up. We're gonna get the license plate back on there. We're gonna clean up the inside of the bed liner. It doesn't look too great right now, but it'll look good. And then lastly, we have the cab wing, which should be a pretty easy install. I totally just forgot to film this, but this I just pulled out of Shaq's truck and installed that new one, so it's looking a lot cleaner. And then I'm also going to be changing out this center bezel real quick, just on my own time real fast, just to get rid of that little plastic clip that's stuck to it. I don't want to try to pull that off and break it, so just going to install a new one. It'll be nice and clean, but that's what I got right here. I just got to go clean it up. Well, would you guys look at that? An LS400. Check it out. We got Shaq's LS400 aired out right here, sitting on the ground. We rolled up in my Nissan Hardbody today, and now we just got this interior bezel all cleaned up, so I thought that was a funny clip. Had to. And we are going to swap it out real quick, but I'm going to do that off camera as well because it's just super tiny. It's going to take me 2 seconds. And check that out. That's looking so much better. I also have a new bezel for in here to get rid of these marks as well, and a new glove box for Shaq. So we'll change that out a little later on. But that was a good start for today. Well, all right, guys. We've got the fender flares all in place. We're going to be putting some spacers on in the next video. But what we got going on right now is we are going to be installing the cab wing real quick. So this is going to be real simple. I don't really have a lot to show you. It's going to be pretty straightforward. We're going to sand down to bare metal. We're going to sand down the cab wing to bare metal underneath. We're going to apply our panel bond and stick it in place. We're going to try to do it without the use of rivets or anything like that. So here we are. The cab wing, like, definitely completes the look of the truck. That is 100% like what this thing needs. I guess the biggest thing we're going to do right now is kind of move it around a couple times, see where we like it. This seems to be like a pretty reasonable spot. So what I may do is like put a piece of tape here, put a piece of tape over there, and then I'm going to measure from the back of the cab to the tape, see if it's even. And then once we have that in place, we'll run up probably a line of tape or a pencil or something small, and then we'll tape everything off. That way we can figure out, you know, where we're gonna set the wing down. We're gonna run tape all the way down, so that way when we put the panel bond, if any squeezes out, it's gonna go on the paint and we can cut it and peel it right off. So kind of just a quick idea, quick look. Look at that, we still got our third eye. Shaq will be changing that out at some point as well with a clear one. But our biggest problem with not using rivets is, like, see how we got a little bit of a space there? So we're gonna have to try to find something to hold this down without scratching the wing, and hopefully it'll sit in place. So kind of just our thought, but it sits really good. And this one's from Rohde Fab.
Yep.
Sick. So there you have it. So we're kind of moving it around right now, seeing where we like it. So we might go a little bit more on the cab, especially so we have a little bit more meat to grab up here. I think if we put a weight just like right here, or 1, 2, 3 weights or something, it'll hold this down pretty well. When we have weight applied here, it pushes the side almost against the side of the truck. So we're just gonna have to hope for the best, put some tape over the wing, tape it to the cab to keep it down. We're gonna let it dry for 24 hours. So we're just kind of mapping that out right now, seeing what we like. What I may try to do instead this time is actually have 2 people hold the wing, and while it's up there, I'll measure it out. I'll put a piece of tape, so I'll measure from here, place our tape right in place, realize that when we move it, we got some gaps, so we'll hold it taut, and when the cab wing is up there, we'll measure out where we like it instead, make our mark, put our piece of tape, go on the other side, do the same, and that should give us a good even look. Let's try that. All right, so we're gonna take our tape measure, put put it in place and find our measurement this way. I'm gonna take a quick minute and do that, and I will get back to you guys on what I did. While the pals are holding it down, we're gonna run our tape exactly where we want it. That's gonna make this so much easier to line the wing up once we're ready to reapply it. So as you can see, we've gotten everything taped up. I taped off this back seam too in case any panel bond comes off the back, but we're gonna sand up all of this. We'll leave a little space by the lines, but for the most part, everything in here is gonna get sanded down to bare metal. Then we gotta map out, draw a line on the back side down here where that is going to get sanded down to bare metal, and then apply our panel bond, and then put some weight on top. I believe that's all we need to do to install this cab wing. So not looking too bad. So right here, I just made a quick line to scribe this off. It doesn't matter, you're not gonna see down here. So I'm gonna sand this down to bare metal, and then take our little tool, sand down up here as well, and we'll be ready for the panel bond. All right, so here we are. We got our whiz wheel. I'm just gonna lightly go over this, get it down to bare metal. All I'm gonna do. Take my time. All right, here we are. We are now down to bare metal on the truck and down to bare metal on the wing. So I think we are ready to apply our panel bond. After we clean up our surface, we're going to try to get some of the dust up and then take a dry rag and wipe everything down, make sure there's nothing on the bare metal. Then we will be good to go. So that's about what we did on the side. Just rough estimate, doesn't have to be perfect. All right, we're gonna give this a go. All right, guys, so I'm just about ready to apply the panel bond. I'll let you know exactly what I do when I go to do it. But like I said, everything's cleaned up. So once we apply the panel bond, we're gonna stick it on. I just gotta go find some weights to put on it to keep it just flat right where we want it. So I'm looking forward to this. It's looking pretty good. So again, keep in mind, we are DIYing, boys. We got this 3M panel bonding adhesive. Now this in the gun wasn't exactly cheap. I think it was a little above $150. But what we're gonna do is, it seems like we're gonna take this tip, unscrew this, pull a little red knob out, apply that, and that'll mix it as it goes through. Yep, so there you are. You have two completely different materials going through this. It's going to mix it, so when it comes out the other end, it's going to be all pre-mixed. Now, we only have one bottle, so we're going to use this carefully, but what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to run a thin layer. We're going to cover everything. This isn't perfect. The only mess up here, but everything else is in about our 2-inch spec. This is actually going to seal the bare metal as well. So we're going to cover everything that's bare metal with this, a nice thin layer. And then once we have some on each side, everything is covered, we're going to run one bead right in the center. That way when we apply it, it'll squish out. But that's why we have the tape. So when it squishes out, you can just peel our tape back. Everything will look really good. So I'm going to just start jumping into this now. It should be pretty easy. We have our car batteries right there to place on the top as weight. We're going to put some rags on it. And as far as the sides go, I don't know what's going to hold it to the side. So if we're going to come back later and run a rib nut, we can do that. Or a rivet, essentially, through the side. But we're hoping we don't have to. Something else I realized I want to do real quick as well is I'm actually going to tape off the top of the edges over here in case any panel bond comes out and around. We'll just be able to peel the tape. All right, so everything's going to mix through the gun. And then once it comes out, I'm just going to run a thin layer, and I'm going to actually apply this with my hand. I just want to do both sides to make sure I have enough to cover everything. This is a really thin layer, though. I might have to go a little thicker. I'm going to run just another small bead. I don't want too much, but just enough to where we can spread it all around. All right, now we'll take our finger. Just going to make sure the spread's out a little bit everywhere. It's going to be a little tricky. We want a nice even spread, though. Make sure it fits everywhere. So I'm gonna do this all the way down, all the way up. Same thing on the cab. Then once that's done, we'll lay a good thick bead right in the middle. Might have to add some in certain spots too, though. As you can see, the outside edge, we don't want it caked, but we just want a nice layer that covers anything bare metal, especially. Thank you to my little helper. All right, so here we go. We got everything down on the wing. We got everything down right here, and as you can see, every spot is covered. Then we got I made a little zigzag bead so we had enough to evenly space out. The sides are going to be a little tricky. I really don't want it to bulge out on the sides too much, but if it does, we'll figure that out after. We're going to take our wing. Now, I'm going to have some people help me, and we are going to just apply it. And then once it's applied, It's gonna squeeze out the sides. That's okay. We can take a knife to it later. But what I'm also gonna use is some rags and put some batteries on top. I think we'll be good. And then we gotta let it sit for 24 hours. All right, guys, we've done it. It's actually looking pretty sick right now. We're gonna put a third battery down right in the middle here. Look at that, yeah, you can see it squeezing out. But look how well it filled in back here. Just a little extra, but not bad. Throw on another battery. Beautiful. We're gonna let that sit. Yeah, so there's all sorts of ways you could do this. You guys could have riveted this on just the same, and then you can make it, or riv nuts, or anything like that. But we really wanted that seamless look. We think it's gonna look a lot better. Panel bond is very strong. Really, really good stuff to use. It is, like I said, it's the 3M panel bond. Yeah, here's some part numbers and things like that. Panel bonding adhesive. We're gonna figure out a way to close this up for right now, clean that all up, so that's still good. But this is gonna give us a beautiful seamless look. Now, I have to leave the shop, but all that's gonna happen in the time I'm gone is they're going to peel back the tape, and this is gonna be dry by morning. So I won't be here in the morning to see it all dried and hardened, but I will see you guys in the morning once it's all dry, and we'll get a good look at the results and see how this came out. But hopefully it came out really good. Also, I'm gonna notice Shaq's windows are also tinted. I mentioned that in the beginning of the next video because I've already started that video. All sorts of fun stuff, but yeah, there you are. So I'll see you guys in the morning once it's dry, and then we'll close out the video. Yo, we got Ramey pulling through. We are about to head over to Import Face Off. Got Shaq coming through, and this is my first time getting to see the wing. Let's go, dude. That looks so fresh. All tinted out with the fender flares. That is looking sick. This is a new morning, and we are about ready to head over to IFO. We're all sorts of homies with cars over here. But look at this. Shaq's wing is now on the truck. He peeled up the tape. We're going to clean it up a little bit. Said it was kind of a mess. So I guess my only recommendation is if you do this as well, if you get a chance, maybe once it starts to dry, maybe you can peel the tape. It's worth a try. It's up to you if you're doing this job. But look at this. I can grab his wing. Not bolted to anything. That's 3M, baby. Shaking the whole truck. So right there, that's a pretty good proven show that that is very solid. I'll give you guys a quick look at the truck, but you'll see some of these things done in the next video. But I wanted to just give you a quick look. This is what Shaq's truck is looking like for Import Face Off right now. So really excited about that cab wing. Beautiful fitment there. It looks fantastic. Once we get that third eye brake light, the clear one under there, it's gonna look a little sportier. So really excited, man. There's the fender flares. It's looking really good. I'm really happy with all the time that was put into this so far. And it's just going to keep getting better and better. So if you guys want to see some more Minitruck or car content, thanks for checking out the fender flare install with the cab wing and all sorts of other fun little interior things. We're just going to keep building this truck. Hopefully this video was of some use to you guys. And if you want to see some more Minitruck content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, and peace out.